you remember what you said?
No.
We should have asked for 3,000.
Did I say that? Hello and welcome to another video. Again, this is an interview with somebody. I want you to meet Ritchie. Ritchie is an old friend of mine and we've been together. When did we meet Ritchie for the first time?
Was it 10 years ago?
10 years ago, wow. We met in Covent Garden and at that time you came to give food to your ex while I was working on a shop selling magic tricks for a Chinese guy called Long. And then Ritchie started managing me at some point. I think you might have heard me talk about Ritchie in the last video about my BBC One show experience. So let's find out about Ritchie. Where did you start this whole thing?
Yeah, my very first ever performance was in a heavy metal band.
Wow.
When I was 14.
Okay.
And I entered the stage with fake blood coming out of my mouth and jumped off my amplifier. That was my opening moment into the stage. So I never had this kind of, I've never had the nerves thing because I always want to be a big show off. I want the attention. Even when I get on a bus or walk into a cafe, I sort of walk in desperate for the attention.
So how old were you at this time?
So I was 14 in bands and I grew my hair long and I had piercings and tattoos.
Oh my gosh.
I joined a professional band when I was 18, so we travelled all around the country, a glam rock band. Then from the wild man with long hair, piercings, everything, then I said I'm going to be a serious person, go to university. When I was at university, I got a yoga book and I started stretching myself every day doing these poses.
Okay.
But I got crazy into it. I think a bit like you. The way you were obsessive about magic, that you would play with the coins relentlessly for years, and that's why you're so good. I was like that with my yoga, and I got bit by bit more and more flexible until I was both legs behind my head, I was standing up like this.
Wow. That's when I met you, I think, right? Or no, not really?
No, you met me 10 years after that.
Oh, so you did that for 10 years then?
So I was doing all these crazy things and I was showing people. I used to just show people, hey, look at this. And a friend of mine went to see the Circus of Horrors.
Okay.
And he said, you should be in that show.
Right.
So I sent them some photos of me.
Yeah.
And the evil Dr. Hayes came to see me in Covent Garden do a street show.
Wow.
I had 3 people in the audience of my street show. One person put £1 in at the end.
At least it's better than mine.
And he said, shall we talk? And he offered me an incredibly paid contract in the Circus of Horrors. And I did that for a few months. Then I moved to London and then I started doing cabarets and things like that, corporate events.
Right, and you've done a lot of TV work also, commercials and everything. Yeah,
TV. So because it was such a visual thing, being a contortionist, and it was an unusual thing, so in a way it's easier when you do something odd to get attention. But it's limited, it's so weird that it gets you on the TV show, but they don't ask you back because you've done your repertoire and they've seen it. It's not like if you're a singer or even in magic you can do
different magic acts,
different magic. But so I was on these shows, but not again and again.
Right, but it's a great way to promote yourself, I think. When I met you, I didn't know that you did any of this stuff. And then when I saw you, I think we went to a bar, I think it was a salsa bar or something, and then you started on this, right in the middle of our table, you started doing a handstand and everything.
I went out with a friend of mine once, a good friend of mine, and I said to him, don't tell anyone I'm a contortionist.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm sick of that conversation I have all the time. It's what I do for a living. I'm just going out, okay?
Yeah.
Just say I'm just, a normal guy, whatever. So we went out in this nightclub. Yeah. And 15 minutes in, he's talking to some girl. Yeah. He turns around, I'm on the dance floor with both my legs behind my head.
That's like a magician going to a party and saying, well, let's not tell anyone a magician. And the next thing you're performing to a waiter or something. Oh, that's great. And then you transitioned into balloon modeling, I think it was.
Yeah, what happened? Yes, that's it. So
maybe Michael, is that true? Because of Michael? Because we used to go to Camden and we used to have was it back then we used to have meet up once a week for a Tuesday night dinner or something. It was like a pub thing. And then Michael used to come and do all these wonderful balloons. And then Ritchie said, I'm going to try that. And next thing I realized, he's got a website. He's got like the whole thing is like Ritchie the balloon modeler.
I always loved Tommy Cooper. He was my route into magic. And I loved props and I loved very silly comedy. And I was always trying to make my contortion act a bit more that way.
Right.
I used to use umbrellas and newspapers and bits, props and things like this.
Yeah.
And I got an interest in clowning and I wanted to become a clown for a while. That was my big thing. And my mother said, please no. and one of the things was balloon modelling. And I think in the age of social media that I put photos on Facebook of me with these balloons. Oh, here's a penguin, here's a teddy bear, here's an alien.
Yeah.
And I was getting all these comments, wow.
Yeah.
And being the ego-driven
right.
performer that we are, I fed off that and I was like, oh, you like that? Oh, I'll do another one. And I just, I got really into it. And because I already had that background in performing, I knew about getting contacts and business cards and all that kind of thing. So then I just moved that towards, now I'm a balloon man. And I was getting pain in my neck, my back. I used to wake up as a contortionist with different pain every day of the week. I would wake up and think, which bit hurts now? Oh, hello, shoulder.
Wow, that's crazy. I think it's a good thing that you transitioned out of that. But from balloon modeling, because I remember I tried to get you into magic. And I said, Ritchie, learn this magic trick. And we used to come back from Michael's shop with a little thing. And you were like, oh, I'm not interested. And the next thing I realized, you're like, oh, I want to do magic shows now. But then you started doing like the kids' magic. So at one point you were doing balloons and magic. And then you just left balloons. Do you still do balloons now or not really?
Exactly. So I was balloons with a little bit of magic. And then I really got into magic more.
Okay.
And then I suddenly, do you know what? I was obsessed with balloons. I was really into balloons. And then I don't know what happened. I think I went to a balloon event and I wasn't really liking the vibe so much. Okay. And I suddenly went off it. It went pop. Right. My interest in balloons. Right. And I went for the magic show, and I think I enjoyed that more. Okay.
You're still doing that, but also in this lockdown period, you've got into editing videos. Your editing skills is just unbelievable. Like, how do you... So everything you're self-taught? You just learn it off online or YouTube or something? Or...
Oh, with videos, yeah. I mean, I did a media studies course when I was 16.
Okay.
Actually, and this is how old I am. We physically had to cut the videotape and glue it. You cut a bit out, you literally cut it and glue it together.
Oh my
could you imagine? We're so lucky to be in this age, aren't
we? Talk about your TV shows. What did you do?
Yeah, so I was on about 15 TV shows in about 5 years. I was on some shows like Richard and Judy, The One Show, Britain's Got Talent briefly.
Okay.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay.
I was on the Discovery Channel. In fact, the Discovery Channel filming was excellent because what happened was we shot this video in a gym. It took about 4 hours.
Yeah.
We did this shoot, and I left the guys, had a great day with them. When we said goodbye, and 30 minutes later, they called me and said, are you available tomorrow? Because they'd left the bag with all the equipment on the passenger seat in Camden Town, gone for a coffee. Someone smashed the window, grabbed it.
Oh my gosh.
Took the tape. So they said, are you free tomorrow? I got another gig, the same fee.
Same fee, wow.
And it took half an hour because they knew all the shots.
Yeah.
My strategy with TV was, I don't remember I think maybe a few of them contacted me, but I mainly contacted them. I would go through the TV schedules and think, what show could I be on?
Nice.
And a lot of the magazine type shows that would have lots of guests every day, I would go for that kind of show. And even the chat shows like Trisha. I was once on Trisha.
Okay.
And they rang me up asking me a lot of personal questions. And I ended up on the show. I don't know if I ever told you this story.
I don't know.
I ended up on the show under the title of Everyone Thinks I'm Gay.
Really?
And I didn't even know that was
So that was the title of the show, and then you... That's great.
I literally sat down in the studio
Yeah.
and went, and it's on a banner. That was the first I knew
And the
about
camera
it.
focuses into your face. And Ritchie got me the One Show by emailing a lot of different people. I think you even emailed Ellen DeGeneres at one point. You were just emailing everyone, I think. This is just when I'd won the competition, and he was like trying to get me on some TV work. But yeah, it's great because you managed me from 2016 to 2017, and you did such a fantastic job. The amount of gigs he got me was unbelievable. I think the highest paid gig I got was what, about 2,000 something or 1,000? I don't remember what it was, but it was a while ago. But it was a great gig. I'm thinking, wow, that's... No, I think it was nearly 2,000 for New Year's Eve.
As you've brought that up,
Yeah.
as you've brought that up, I remember this gig for it was New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
and it was a long way away, and it was one of those gigs where you don't really want to go there
Yeah.
because you know you're not going to be giving out.
Yeah.
Well, if you give out cards, it's going to be people living a long way away, so it was kind of, and we quoted really high.
Right.
And I remember calling you and saying, because I'm not really a manager, I dip my toes in with Brendan, but I was new to that stuff myself. And I remember calling you about this, and I spoke with the client, and it was quite in advance, wasn't it? It was maybe 9 months ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy paid the full money to your bank account.
Yeah, up front.
And I rang you, I said, there's £2,000 in your bank account.
It's crazy.
And you said, do you remember what you said?
No.
We should have asked for 3,000.
Did I say that? I don't remember saying that, but yeah, I remember. I think it was a gig in the middle of nowhere, and I had to take like bus, trains, and
didn't you take a boat?
Yeah, actually, I did take a boat. Yeah, it was. I don't remember where it was, but some sort of. I had to go to a train station, first a bus, and then I had to get a boat, and everyone's. Oh, it was a crazy gig. It was just 2 hours, but yeah. So thanks to Ritchie for that. So I think your marketing is so underrated because you're so good at everything that he touches. He just gets really good at that. So I think that's your addictive personality, because even when you said you're trying to manage me at some point, but you did such a great job. You know, I could see you managing loads of other artists, maybe future down the line and stuff, if you don't want to do magic shows anymore. So right now your gigs are mainly kid shows, or what do you normally do nowadays?
Yeah, exactly. So the kid show stuff is an interesting area for me, because what drew me to it was I loved very silly comedy. I loved Jim Carrey, Rick Mayall. Not so much children's TV, but the more silly stuff.
Lauren Hardy, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think doing that kind of show, I could do kid shows, you know. And then I went more kind of kiddie magic, you know.
Right.
Things like a lot of magicians watch your channel.
Yeah.
Are you all subscribed?
Yeah, are you
Subscribe now.
That's great.
Why are you not subscribed? You don't have a YouTube account. Sign up, get an account. You know, a lot of people watch YouTube, they haven't even got an account.
True.
Why have you not got an account? Make an account after the video and then come back, subscribe. So I like a lot of these colourful, silly effects. But then what you realise, I think more so in the UK doing kid shows, is that half of the kid show audience are adults, and then you get older children as well.
Yeah.
Because a 5-year-old will bring his 10-year-old brother, and he might bring his 2 friends.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're doing cutesy, chicken. Oh, cutesy chicken! Chicken's got a cloth in his mouth, and he's eating it. And the 5-year-olds are loving it,
and then
but the 10-year-old's gone off on his phone, and so I started to realise that really it's really better to go down the family route and try. Of course, it's very difficult, but try and win the whole room.
Yeah.
And the other thing is with the chatty mums and loud talking parents is a big issue for children's entertainers. So why not bring them in? So when I start my show, straight away I start joking with the grown-ups.
Yeah.
I'll make jokes about going down the pub.
Right.
You know, about grown-up things. I never do rude innuendo, anything like that. Yeah. But I just straight away I give them a sign that this is for you guys. You're in this as well.
Yeah. And that's the way you've evolved, because I remember once you called me up and said, oh, I've got this show for you, I can't do it, the kids are too old for me. It's like, okay, what age? And I thought he meant like 17 or 18. He's like, no, they're like 8 to 10 years old. I was like, okay. So
I remember that. 8-year-olds terrified me because the cutesy magic, the one with the pop-off end, that stuff storms it with a group of 4-year-olds, 4 or 5-year-olds. But in the 8-year-olds, they're a bit more, they're cleverer. They've got a great sense of humour, but they don't like to be patronised. They don't like to be thought. They don't like you thinking they're a little kid.
Yeah, true.
When we first met up, I think it was a really interesting time for the three of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because there was me who was just getting into magic, and I was changing. I was going through this kind of change where I was playing with these props, and I was very playful. And it's I think what I like with you is you and me, I think we never sit comfortably where we are. Like we're always moving, like what can I do, where can I go, how can I improve? And I think generally in magic that seems to be I like that about the magic world. Like when I go to lectures and conventions and I see all these pros that have been around for years and they're still learning, and I love that. I never want to stop. But Michael, our friend as well, he could not leave the house without a suitcase full of tricks.
That's crazy.
Balloons, props. And I'm the same now. I think if there was a fire in my house, I would say, oh, what can I grab,
Yeah. Wow.
Would you go to the shops without any magic in your pocket?
At the moment, yes, I do that now. But first, I couldn't really leave the house without my bag, as I say, with the crystal ball and just things that I had with me. But now I think I'm changing a little bit. I'm walking out of the house without having elastic bands in my pocket, so I don't even bother. But yeah, I think if I have to go out and I know I'm meeting people, even if I'm not performing, I have to make sure I've got some sort of magic. It's like when people ask you a question, what do you do for a living, or they find that you're a magician, the first thing they're going to ask you is, show me a trick. And some people, you can get away with that by saying, oh, I don't perform stuff like this, I only perform at work, but I like to show them something at least. I'll show you something, and I'll happen to have a coin with me or something like it, something small I can carry. So I'm always carrying something. But yeah, it's so great, Ritchie. It was honestly so great to have you on this channel, and I wanted people to meet you and check out your stuff. So thank you for doing this.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time watching this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and as Ritchie said, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very shortly. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.